Coming up, you won't believe your eyes. We've got details on the house we believe sold for just $2 in Auckland last week. And the latest on the suburbs affected by the Watercare nightmare. The best price at auction last week, well done, Devonport. We'll show you it. Plus, 7 houses sold in Auckland in the last 7 days for under $1 million. It's Monday, November 25th.
Wealth HQ, empowering you to take charge of your financial life.
Financial freedom. Financial freedom.
Welcome to the show. Details on that $2 house shortly, but first, we are here to debunk the myth that you can't buy a house in Auckland for under $1 million. Here's proof you can. The best price at auction last week was on the North Shore, right on the waterfront. Word on the street, there was better foot traffic at open homes over the weekend. Let's have a look at auction clearance rates, which were down from the week before. So what do we know about the $2 house? Interest.co.nz said it sold at auction last week for just $2, and this is what it looks like.
A block of 4 leasehold flat, reserve, $1,000. You heard that right, $1,000. The lease term for this particular property is 21 years, with a right of renewal at the end of the lease term, and the next one in 2029. The ground lease is an expense which the new owner needs to take into consideration. The ground rental is based on the value of the land and to be high. In this case, for the current 7-year period, it is currently almost the same as the income generated from the tenants. This situation will hopefully improve as the rents increase.
Now, we rang the agent to clarify if this was true, and they didn't return the call. So we texted them. So we know originally he had just $1,000 reserve. If you know anything about the block of flats and whether it did indeed sell for just $2, then let us know below. Now it's time to update you on the Watercare map that came out. It's generating a lot of talk. Andrew Malkin has been analyzing the map, which shows it could take over a decade to install necessary infrastructure in large parts of Auckland. Andrew, how are you reading it?
Yep, so you can't see on this map, but generally speaking, everything in the middle here is in that green zone. That Watercare is indicating that is a good to go. You know, that there is water capacity or like infrastructure capacity for development, which is going to encourage property to be built up in these central areas. When you start looking at the outer zones, the second layer of Auckland, you'll see this blue zone where there's a water constraint, and you'll see this these orange zones are wastewater constraints, and that these gray zones here, they are water and wastewater constraints. So it is pretty funny the way that they've tried to add a lot of detail into this, and what they've kind of done is made it confusing, because there's a little asterisk basically next to all of these points saying we're not sure about specific streets, and we've tried to have zones, but each of those zones is actually, hey, we're going to have to double check if we actually can build in that street and in that zone. So the color coding is a guideline. It's definitely not an explicit black and white. So I would be particularly interested in the East Auckland areas where I'm living at the moment, where there is a lot of constraint and there are new developments pending. I know that there's a 92-lot development that's had some consents granted in this Half Moon Bay area. I can see that there's a massive capacity constraint. So I'd say there'll be a lot of lawyers getting phone calls and a lot of consultants rechecking and checking again with the likes of Watercare about what is actually the situation. But you can use this map to deep dive on the suburbs that are of interest to you. And I think the important part is that all areas are check with us and we'll let you know.
If you enjoyed the property market update today, subscribe to the channel to be up to date with the OCR changes that are coming up this week and also to know what's going on with this Watercare issue. I'll see you next time.
Financial freedom. Financial freedom.
Wealth HQ, empowering you to take charge of your financial life.